Welcome to section 1.2. This is the second session of the ISACA CISA exam prep series. In this session, we'll cover the many types of audits, assessments, and reviews. We'll answer several questions. How does an audit differ from a review? What are the main kinds of audits you'll meet? What is a control self-assessment? And what makes an integrated audit so powerful? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because picking the right engagement type shapes everything that follows. Imagine your boss asks you to look at a payroll system. Do they want a formal audit with a hard opinion? Or a gentler review that spots improvements? Naming the work correctly sets expectations and tone. Get it wrong, and people brace for a fight that was never coming. So what separates an audit from a review? An audit is a formal inspection. It verifies that rules are followed and records are accurate. It checks whether targets for efficiency are met. An audit delivers a high level of assurance. Reviews and assessments are broader and lighter. They often carry less of a threatening reputation. They tend to focus on opportunities and ideas. Things like cutting the cost of poor quality, or gathering staff opinions to shape policy. Let's walk through the major audit types. What is an information systems audit? It gathers evidence to judge whether systems are safeguarded. It checks that data stays accurate and available. It confirms that controls give reasonable assurance, and that bad events are caught and fixed in time. What is a compliance audit? It tests controls to prove you follow a specific rule. Think of a regulation or an industry standard. It often zooms in on one system or data set. What is a financial audit? It checks the accuracy of financial reporting. It leans on detailed, substantive testing of the numbers. It cares about the integrity of financial information. What is an operational audit? It evaluates the internal controls inside a process. Reviewing application controls is a good example. So is checking logical security on a system. What is an integrated audit? It blends financial and operational steps into one. It judges objectives across the whole organization, protecting assets, working efficiently, and staying compliant. Internal or external teams can run it. We'll return to this one shortly. What is an administrative audit? It looks at the efficiency of day-to-day productivity. What is a specialized audit? It targets a narrow area, like fraud or outside vendors. Let's break the specialized group down further. What is a third-party service audit? It examines processes you have outsourced to a provider. That provider might even operate in another country. A service auditor issues a report on their controls. You can then rely on that report in your own work. What is a fraud audit? It hunts for fraudulent activity directly. Auditors use data analysis to expose schemes. What is a forensic audit? It digs into fraud and crime for the legal system. Its main goal is to build evidence for the courts. What is a computer forensic audit? It analyzes electronic devices to gather and preserve evidence. A skilled auditor can support a forensic specialist here. They also confirm the evidence rules were followed. What is a functional audit? It independently checks a software product. It verifies the features match the written requirements. You run it just before release or after go live. What is a readiness assessment? It reviews how prepared you are for a formal audit. It focuses on control design, not how well controls run. It hands you a list of items to fix beforehand. Picture a clinic checking itself before a privacy inspection. They patch the gaps now to avoid surprises later. Now let's slow down on control self-assessment. What is it? It's an assessment of controls done by the unit's own people. Staff and management judge their own controls. It reassures everyone that the control system is reliable. It makes employees aware of risks to the business, and it drives regular, proactive control reviews. So where does the auditor fit? Here you act as a facilitator, not an inspector. You help process owners define and assess their controls. The process owners know the work best, so they are perfectly placed to judge the controls. How do you run a self-assessment program? You can use questionnaires and surveys. You can hold facilitated workshops. You can even use informal peer reviews. In a workshop, you create a safe space to talk. People surface control strengths and weaknesses together. What is the real objective of this approach? You shift some control monitoring out to the business. It does not replace the audit team's job. It enhances it. Line managers own the controls, so they should watch them. Your job is to teach them control design and monitoring. What do you gain from it? You catch risk early. Controls get stronger and ownership grows. Teams become more cohesive and aware. Communication between staff and top management improves. And control costs often come down. But watch the downsides too. People may mistake it for replacing audit entirely. They may see it as extra paperwork. Ignoring their suggestions can hurt morale. And without audit knowledge, weak controls may slip through. Finally, let's revisit integrated auditing. Why is it so valued? Because business now depends heavily on technology. So every auditor must grasp technology controls. And technology auditors must grasp business controls. An integrated audit combines those disciplines around risk. How does the team actually work together? They start by identifying the risk in the area. The technology specialist studies systems and operations. The business specialists study business risk and controls. Then the whole team debates the emerging risk. They weigh both impact and likelihood. What does the detailed work focus on? The key controls that manage that risk. Technology often provides the first line of defense, so you test how well those systems support the controls. Then you test the operational controls run by management. The result is one combined opinion on control risk. Why do stakeholders love this? Process owners see how controls link to audit steps. Management sees control gains tied to better resource use. And one audit produces one complete report. So let's bring it together. Audits give hard assurance. Reviews stay lighter. The type you choose depends on the goal. Compliance, financial, operational, and specialized each have a focus. Control self-assessment puts the business in the driver's seat, and the integrated audit weaves it all into one view. Master these distinctions, and you'll always pick the right tool. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on RooCloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.